that's, you know, one of the reasons that I went down the road of disordered eating and a distorted body image. Because to the world, I looked like this shining example of a healthy, fit, happy vegan. But, you know, on the inside, I felt like a fraud, to be honest with you. I wasn't really healthy mentally and emotionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, Empowered Vegan Lifers. This is Ella, and I'm here with my co-host. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Ella, how are you?
I'm well. I almost just called you chickpea.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what we call each other.
Yeah,
chickpea
people don't know.
Ball. No, people don't know this about us. Yeah.
But I think it's kind of time.
It's time to reveal all our secrets.
Yes, we call each other either chickpea or cheese ball, and I don't even know how that started.
Cheese ball?
Yeah.
Well, I do. I remember this distinctly because when we first started working together, I just kept gushing about how grateful I was and how thankful I was. And then you would write me an email back about how thankful you were and how grateful you were. And it just became this like big cheese ball show. So we just started calling each other cheese ball. But I don't know how chickpea, I don't know how chickpea got in there. I just don't remember that.
I remember that one.
Oh, do you? That's funny.
That one, I was actually I was thinking about the podcast actually, and I'm like, okay, are we going to call each other cheese ball on the podcast? Because that's a little confusing for our listeners, given that we're vegan. So I was thinking, you know, unless we called each other vegan cheese ball, and that just doesn't quite, you know, have the same ring. So I was trying to think of another cute name that we could call each other, and chickpea is really super cute. It is cute, but you know, cheese balls kind of our thing. So
it is our thing. And now it's become Cece.
Now we can't decide, so we just call each other Cece.
It's just Cece. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Well, I've got something else that's cool. I got a new webcam.
Oh, it does look different. It looks different today.
Yes. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, because the camera on my laptop is pretty crappy. And it like literally never occurred to me that I could get a webcam. And I think it might be because there's an immediate thought that comes to my mind when I hear webcam. And I don't know if I'm the only one having that thought or not.
I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I'm sure our listeners know what we're talking about. Stephanie, you're just so innocent that you might not understand.
I'm very naive, very innocent.
But anyway, I do love my webcam, and it comes out so much better. And I know most people are not able to see us right now because they're listening on the podcast, but we do put our episodes up on YouTube. So if you do want to see the difference, and now we've got before and after episodes. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. It does look different.
It does
look different.
Yeah. And the other thing is we just got, I don't know if everybody knows I'm in Miami. We just got an award, Miami. We are literally the epicenter of the entire world for the most COVID cases on a daily basis.
You really should be proud.
Yeah. Good old Miami. That's, you know, I listen to Stephen Colbert sometimes, and he makes fun of Florida like it's going out of style.
Oh my gosh, I love Stephen Colbert. I
love him too. He's very furry right now. He's got this hair. I think he's going a little crazy. His hair is like all over the place. He's playing with it. He's not using a product anymore. It's just a wild mess. He's a hot mess at the moment.
Oh man, I can relate. My COVID hair is going strong.
What else is new with you?
You know, just working and living life and enjoying the sunshine
and working out.
Oh my gosh. Yes. My daughter and I are going strong at zone 6 every morning, 5:50. We are there. And we found out today there's some sort of ranking, and we can't quite figure out what it is, but we're number 20 and 21.
Huh.
Oh, no. This morning we found out we were 19 and 21
And
out
you
of
no
like
idea what that means?
300. I don't know what it
Oh,
means, but I feel really good about it.
well, you should. I mean, out of
Yeah.
300, whatever it's
Yes.
for.
And don't tell her, but I'm beating her. I'm 19, she's 20. It's, you know, it just feels, it feels good to be 47 and beating a 14-year-old.
Oh,
But
yeah.
of course, she will surpass me because I'm her mom, and our children are supposed to surpass us. So.
Yes, well, I actually did a jiu-jitsu lesson with Christian, my boyfriend, the other day, and he asked me after, because we did a little rolling at the end. It's kind of like, for those of you who don't know, trying to submit the other person. And he's stronger, and we're both pretty inexperienced. And he asked me later, he's like, "Did you want me to let you win once or twice?" And I was like, no. Do you know me? Are you kidding me? And he was like, okay, I didn't think so, but, and yeah, I was like, if you know me, I want to win, but I want to win fair and square.
Yes. You and Alex are a lot alike in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't like anything sugar coated for her. If she's going to win, she's going to win on her own. She doesn't. And she's been like this since she was 3. And I know you have too.
This is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
My mom tells a story of how I insisted on putting on my own diapers, and I insisted on walking out the door alone at 2 years old down the street, not looking back. And she would follow me a good mile before she said, okay, this is enough. This is ridiculous. We gotta get home.
Oh my gosh. Your 2-year-old little legs. They had to have been tired.
Oh boy, yes. Well, the other exciting thing, and when this comes out, we will be in the middle of our 7-day, our third challenge in the last 5 weeks or something like that. Our 7-day fit and flexi vegan challenge. And so when this comes out, we'll be in the middle of that. But this is all to prepare us for the launch of Vegan Life Coach Academy, which is creeping up so super fast, Stephanie.
I know, I'm getting butterflies. I mean, I can't believe we've been talking about this for so long, and I can't believe it's almost here. So, and this challenge is going to be bigger than ever. We have more people that are signing up, and it's going to be an exciting week.
It really is. That's my pup. Let me let her in the other room real quick. Sweet shy. All right. Yes, well, we have a wait list. So if you are listening right now and you are not on the wait list, I encourage you to go and get on that wait list right now, because we've got some special things in store for the people that are on the wait list. Not only will we be reaching out to you guys first and notifying you first when the doors open, because they'll only be open for 6 days. We will also be providing a special gift for those who took the time and energy to actually get on the wait list in advance. So go and get on that wait list. We will put the link in the show notes. This is so exciting, you guys. We have, everything. I can't even believe all the things that we're offering. Our goal is to make this membership so valuable that you just might be in it for the rest of your life. I mean, I don't know, between the live streaming and recorded yoga classes and calisthenics and boot camp classes, all that fun stuff. We've got also the mental and emotional tools, the training, nutrition, courses you have access to, live group coaching calls. We have kind of got it all in one place. And it's just everything vegan, fit, and healthy, and happy. And that's what it's all about. It's going to be so much fun in addition to being so powerful. Yeah. Really helping people step into their power and get everything they need and want out of life, you know?
Yeah. It's everything we love, and so this is just such a project of passion, and I can't wait for people to join in.
It really is. It really is. Cool. All right. Well, should we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, The reason we're doing this this episode on why you can't outrun your fork, I thought of it actually because recently I was asked to give a talk about the importance of fitness for our well-being. And I had to think for a moment because, I was like, what valuable information and insights can I bring to an audience? I mean, at this point, who doesn't already know that it's important to make consistent exercise a part of your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody kind of knows that. And it's been a part of mine since I was 5 years old. And so it's just, part of who I am, starting on the swim team, gymnastics team, dance classes, after my growth spurt, volleyball in high school. And from there, I became a gym rat and a personal trainer. And I even went on to win first place in the bikini division of the FAME World Championships. And I did that to prove that it was possible as a vegan. And that was back in the day when the time when most people didn't even know what the word vegan meant. And those who did, what are some of those stereotypes, Stephanie? Like they thought of scrawny hippies.
Yes, scrawny hippies, and just I think weak and
smelly, even
smelly, and just lived
armpit
life
hair.
Armpit hair, lived life in meditation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think those are the stereotypes.
Those were, and I was a kickboxer, right? And I really wanted to just break those stereotypes. And the interesting thing though was that I found working in fitness that the industry had very little concern for true health. It was really all about what people looked like on the outside. And for me, having become this walking billboard basically for the lean physique that was possible to eat building exclusively plants, I put a ton of pressure on myself. I wanted to be in fighting shape year round because that was working in terms of inspiring others to give veganism a try. Yeah. So the problem with that was that I became programmed to believe that my worth was based on the shape of my body. And that's, one of the reasons that I went down the road of disordered eating and a distorted body image. Because to the world, I looked like this shining example of a healthy, fit, happy vegan. But, on the inside, I felt like a fraud, to be honest with you. I wasn't really healthy mentally and emotionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think it's really interesting that you say that you bring up that point about feeling like a fraud, because I think that's a really common experience, no matter what you look like on the outside. It's that feeling of presenting to the world what isn't congruent with what's going on in your head. And wow, what a tough place to be.
Yeah, it really was. And I'm sure our listeners, you guys, many of you have that voice in your head that says, I'll be happy when.
Yes.
Right? I'll be happy when I lose this weight. That's probably the most common one that we hear. I'll be happy when I've got the body I've always wanted, when I, or when I get my dream job or meet the man of my dreams or woman of my dreams, or when I have a family, or when you do have a family, when my kids are going to leave,
Right.
I'll be happy when. And what we're here to show you is that happiness is not on the other side of anything. It's not on the other side of weight loss. It's actually the other way around. Weight loss is on the other side of happiness.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, Stephanie?
Yeah, I think that we really have to make happiness a choice. And until we do, we really can't think about anything else. We cannot be striving for happiness in the future because it's not a future state. It's a present state. And so if we're always looking at it as something that's just around the corner, as you said, just around the corner where you'll meet the perfect man, just around the corner where you'll be the perfect size, we're never going to get there. But we can be there today just as we are. And then the changes that you want to make become easier. It's still a struggle, but the struggle is part of the happiness. Yeah. It's part of that challenge and really digging in and designing that life that you really, really want. But you have to think of it as a present state rather than something that's attainable in the future.
Yeah, and if you think about it, anxiety doesn't live in the present, it lives in the future. So if we're living in the future, we are just setting ourselves up to be constantly anxious. And what happens when we're anxious and nervous? A lot of us self-sabotage and we go and eat. So
very true. Very true. Yeah, you're numbing that emotion by eating, I mean, we can think of 100,000 different distractions by using your webcam. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do to distract yourself from that anxiety or from any sort of emotion that is uncomfortable. But when you choose happiness, you don't have to distract yourself any longer. You can just live in the present.
That's right. So when it does come to exercise, it's really important to change your mindset around exercise and fitness from what most people use as motivation, which is usually a means to lose weight, right? To a means of being strong, healthy, and fit and active into old age, with weight loss often being a welcomed side effect. So today, I want to give you 3 shifts that you can make, and you can make them starting today to create a lifestyle that will result in a strong, healthy, fit body for life. And these are shifts that we help you make permanently through the Vegan Life Coach Academy membership, because we have to reprogram, and that doesn't happen overnight. This is not a quick fix, but it's a permanent fix. So shift number 1 is based on the philosophy that you can't outrun your fork. What I mean by that is that no matter how insanely hard you work out, if you're not fueling your body with nutrient-packed whole plant foods, you will not achieve a healthy, fit body, at least not for long, right? First off, you can only overtrain for so long before your body starts to break down, from overuse injuries to acute injuries to adrenal fatigue. I have experienced all 3 of those. And well, let me ask you guys a question. And I'm not sure if I've asked you this one before. You know what burpees are. I know you do, Stephanie.
Oh, yes.
All too well. Yes. Most people, myself included, and I think I can speak for Stephanie, have a love-hate relationship with burpees because they are one of the toughest yet most effective total body exercises that exist. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not sure about the love part of that love-hate relationship, I get that too, no worries. But here's the question. How many burpees do you think it takes to burn off the calories in just 3 little Oreo cookies, which are accidentally vegan, by the way? I know you already know, Stephanie.
I do.
I'm just going to give people 1 second to shout it out. Shout it out. I wish I could hear you, and I can't. I'm pretending. Nope, it's not 50. Nope, not 70. It's over 100. Over 100 burpees. So if you've ever eaten something, and I certainly have, thinking it's okay, no worries, I'll just burn it off at the gym tomorrow. Good luck with that. Constantly working out for the purpose of burning off calories that you feel guilty about consuming is going to keep you spinning your wheels, frustrated, and totally exhausted. Yeah. So what we want to do is encourage you to use food and exercise as complements to each other. Yeah. Use food to fuel your body so that it can perform at its best, so you can be energized and feel strong and healthy day in and day out. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. It's such an important shift to make, and it's not an easy one. It took me years.
It isn't an easy shift to make, but it's such an important one in that we cannot punish ourselves through exercise any longer and expect it to be a sustainable activity. And there's so many reasons to exercise, but if your primary reason is to punish yourself for those 3 Oreos, then you're never going to get to the benefits, the real benefits of exercise.
Exactly. So. And this really leads us into shift number 2, which is loving yourself unconditionally as a prerequisite for changing your body. In other words, transformation occurs from the inside out. And this can be another tough concept to wrap your head around, right? Because we spend so much time and energy doing research and trying to find the right meal and workout plans to finally get us in good shape. But ultimately, what happens? I mean, how often do you eat something knowing very well it's not going to help your cause, right? How many times do you find yourself in that cycle of self-sabotage where you're super motivated and you stick to a strict diet and exercise like a crazy person, only to eventually find that your willpower runs out? You are completely out of balance. I mean, forget a social life if you're trying to be restrictive with your food, right?
Right.
And of course, you're going to end up, quote, falling off the wagon. You're overeating, under-exercising, ending up back where you started or worse off. That's the dreaded cycle.
Yeah.
But what if we spent that time and energy first learning to respect and accept ourselves exactly as we are? What if we truly loved ourselves and started listening to our bodies and making the choices that will serve us and our bodies best? What if we started eating and exercising because we love our bodies, not because we hate them? And I'll tell you, because we have helped hundreds of clients do just that. And I want to tell them about Mary, Stephanie, who enrolled in the program because she was pre-diabetic. She had hypertension. She had a decent amount of weight to lose. And she, like many others, and do you remember this? She said, I've tried everything. How many times have we heard those words?
I've said them myself. Yeah. We hear them all the time.
And what we asked her was, have you tried not dieting and not trying to lose weight by burning calories at the gym? Have you tried overcoming the mental and emotional hurdles that you may not even know are standing in your way? And she had been through quite a bit of individual therapy for some serious trauma she experienced as a child and a teen. And despite that therapy, it did help, but she was still carrying around the weight of shame. No pun, or maybe pun intended. In that belief, that core belief that she was unlovable and unworthy. And what we did was give her a safe space to be vulnerable and the tools and coaching she needed to build a foundation of self-love. And when she did, everything else began to fall into place. When she began eating and exercising out of true love for herself, I remember when she wrote it in our group, she said, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to get on the scale, she said, because we don't weigh ourselves. She said, I was at the doctor. I've lost 25 pounds without trying. And she regained her health as well.
Yeah. I remember that moment of just, I feel like she struggled so much to do the work, because it is really hard to get out of that diet culture mentality. And she did the work. She really, she didn't believe us. She didn't believe that she could even get to a place where she loved herself. And yet once she did, it was this process of putting in the work and then seeing the end result. And it was really a great moment.
And one of those foundational tools, you guys, that we were teaching in the Plant Power Coaching Program and that we will be continuing to teach at Vegan Life Coach Academy is the self-empowerment coaching system. So if you have not listened to episode number 4 yet, that is a great place to start, to go get kind of the foundation of what we teach people, how to go about reprogramming your mind, changing those core beliefs, and getting to a place emotionally and mentally where this will happen with you too.
Yeah.
Super cool. All right, let's move on to shift number 3, which is just simply getting curious and finding the fun in fitness. And I want to tell you about Christian, my boyfriend. He grew up a band geek, and those are his words, not mine. I'm not going to get in trouble for that one. I'm like, well, what happened to band camp?
Yeah.
That one time at band camp?
Right.
So yeah, so music was his thing, which is pretty cool too, whereas sports was mine. But before I met him, he had this goal of getting up to 185 pounds by building muscle. And don't us women especially love it when men complain about not being able to gain weight. I can just eat anything and I can't seem to gain a pound.
Yeah,
wring your neck.
So disgusting. Yeah.
Well, he had hired a trainer. He was meal prepping as his trainer recommended. And you guys know me now at this point. When I first looked in his kitchen, oh my God, holy shit. I was horrified. I mean, absolutely horrified from turkey burgers. I mean, the freezer full of turkey burgers and canned tuna and this awful, like, I'm sure GMO kind of whey protein and, you know, all these other supplement powders and Diet Coke and seltzer water sweetened with aspartame and sucralose.
Yeah.
This is what his trainer has him on.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the whole, this is all about what's on the outside and not what you're, you know, not the health part of things, certainly.
No. And in the long run, those things will cause you to gain fat. So it's ridiculous. Anyway, he was working his ass off, I have to say. And he was seeing very little results. He's an ectomorph. He has trouble, you know, filling out. So he was really frustrated. And not long after we started dating, he got on board the vegan train, which was awesome. But he really fell off the wagon when it came to exercise. And he would just tell me, he's like, what's the point? What's the point in spending my time going to the gym when I'm seeing nothing? Well, of course, I threw quite a number of points at him. You know, I said, well, getting muscles, sure, it's one aesthetic reason to work out, but what about all the benefits that would set him up for a lifetime of activity? You know, the strength and mobility and flexibility and agility you can get from different types of exercise, the heart health, you know, you can experience as you prevent heart disease and fending off back problems and osteoporosis. There are countless reasons other than, you know, what I'm going to look like on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, I asked, well, you know, what if you could find motivation in wanting to feel your best and enjoy a high quality of life into old age? I mean, that's pretty motivating to me because, you know, if you think about it, your looks, they're going to change regardless. We get older. We get wrinkles, we get gray hair, we get age spots, things sag. But if you're if you're able to continue to move and do the activities you enjoy and access also the joy and freedom from within, we can have those golden years be really, really golden. And I have to, this just came into my head. My mom, I remember before I turned 40, which was only a month ago, I think it was a few months before this whole COVID thing, because we were at the yard house. I remember this distinctly, and my memory is not great, but I remember this because my mom, you know, we're talking about me getting ready to turn 40, and she goes, oh, I remember my 40s. She goes, as soon as I turned 40, that's when my ass just fell.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks a lot.
Oh, that's so funny. Has your ass fallen this month?
Not yet. No.
Oh, good.
It's still quite upright.
Yes, you're defying all the odds.
My plan is to continue as long as I can. Oh goodness. But you know, that all being said, I like to get creative and have fun. And that means mixing things up. And I'll go through phases. You know, one of the reasons Stephanie and I are such a great couple is because we have different strengths and different likes, but we, you know, bigger picture, we're so much alike, right? And little fun things we're also alike. So, you know, one thing that I am is a fitness buff. That's just who I am. And what I do is go through phases of different types of activities, because I'm not gonna do something unless I feel really excited about it. So, you know, for a while I was doing a lot of training and sparring in Thai boxing. And I'll go through phases. Right now I'm into calisthenics. I'll go through heavier lifting phases, or, you know, cycling. Yoga is there now, ever present. But, you know, things we can do is find new things that really spark us, right? And I know you say, Stephanie, motivation follows action.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can think about what might motivate us, then we just have to go do it. Mm-hmm. And then we get motivated to go back. And can you talk about your experience with this new gym?
Yeah. Well, last year I had pneumonia 3 times, and having it 3 times, I didn't get to the gym a whole lot. I didn't have a whole lot of air capacity. Definitely, my ability was tanked. I mean, I had worked out pretty solidly for about 1.5 years, and saw a lot of gains, and then after that, it was really discouraging, honestly. And getting back into that cycle was hard for me, because not only was I dealing with physical things like being able to breathe, but also which is important, but also just getting back into that routine for me, something that I don't necessarily or haven't enjoyed. It was hard because life had become really, really full, really, really busy. And so I know you and I worked together for a while, and that was getting me to a place where I could then join this gym. And I'd been looking at this gym for a while, and it looked really neat. So they had a month for free, and I was like, I gotta go. I just gotta go. So I did. And that taking that action has now, inspired me to do more and more and more, and bring my daughter along. And it's really been, it's really been something really remarkable, really changing the way that I live my life, because it creates such fantastic benefits. I'm handling life a lot easier, even though life has gotten even more chaotic. So yeah, it's definitely that motivation factor. Just, you got to kind of throw that out the window,
Oh yeah, especially at 5 a.m,
especially at 5 a.m,
which we should tell people is what you're doing. So
yeah, we get up and we get going. I drag her there, and she's the same way. We get up and get there.
Yeah. So, well, back to Christian, is that my point was he's not necessarily motivated now by the physical aspects, but he's starting to really embrace other reasons to work out. And we started, first we did a competition. We decided to do a competition between each other when we kind of created this whole strength training, like how many pull-ups, and divided it by our weight, and like we got really technical. He's super analytical, so we were like in it. And then COVID hit, and all the gyms closed, and we didn't have access to some of the equipment we needed to use. So then I bought a calisthenics training program by these German guys that are just, they're like little machines. They like do their pull-ups, and you're like, that is fake. It is fake what you're doing, because it looks like they're on like a bungee cord or something when they go. It's so easy for them. They make everything look so easy, but it's really, they're inspiring to me. So I got my rings, I got the parallel bars, I got some fun equipment to use at home. And that's one of the reasons we're going to include calisthenics and calisthenics is really just body weight training, but you can do it and get stronger to the point where you can do fun tricks, like all the handstands and the planches and fun stuff. So my fitness listeners out there, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but we'll be doing some of that as part of the membership as well, which is awesome. Anyway, he's doing that with me now. So we've kind of have ourselves as accountability partners. It's just like my dad the other day, I was talking to him, and he was saying that he had a thing for veganese. This is totally off topic, but it was just the other day. And
I have to know about this.
Yes. He's like, I could eat that on everything. He's like, and he's totally vegan. But he's got some health goals. He genetically has high cholesterol. His body seems to like to make cholesterol. So I'm just, he's relatively healthy, but he mentioned that veganese, and when he was saying about how much, and he's going to listen to this too. Sorry, Dad. So going to listen.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Anyway, I was like, well, cutting out the processed oils, which veganese is made up of processed oils, as good as it is. I was like, maybe that would be the next step, because he's given up all dairy. He's totally vegan. So I was like, Dad, how about this? And I was like, I like Vegenaise too. I put it on my burger, my vegan burgers and grilled cheese sandwiches and things like fun stuff like that. So I was like, what if we took a detox, a Vegenaise detox together? Let's not eat Vegenaise through the end of August, and then we'll go from there. And it was really helpful, I think, to him for us to be able to do that together. And I am super happy to, I mean, I'm not happy to, because I really like Vegenaise too. But,
I do too. Yeah.
Right? But,
yeah.
But, even cutting something like that out can make a big difference, especially when somebody's got the health concerns to take into consideration. When we're talking about finding the balance when we eat of, from ideal whole plant foods to more of the processed vegan, junk type foods, those types of things can make a big difference when it comes to taking our health to the next level. And so, so for that reason, and as a bonding tool for me and my dad, no more Vegenaise. Nothing bad about Vegenaise. It's just got some processed oils. I was eating it before this. But yeah, so yeah, off topic. But
I love that.
Yeah.
I love you and your dad are doing a little challenge together.
Me too. So, all right, and back to the topic. I want to, so you guys listening, ask yourself, what could I do to make working out something I want to do? And I want you to give it some thought. And I'm going to throw out a few ideas to take into consideration. Challenges, which I know so many people like to do, because out of the 3 challenges, I think we have almost 2,000 people having gone through these 3 challenges.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal. So much fun, so much energy. It's just been great. So find a fun challenge that can help jumpstart you, right? It's maybe not a long-term solution, but there's nothing wrong with a jumpstart, quick win. And then I'm a huge proponent of classes. I'm sure right now a lot of us can't go to classes still, but even the virtual classes, there's something different about doing a class, even if you're not in the same room, but virtually you're doing it together and you're live and you've got an instructor that's live. There's something about that, even when you're not necessarily physically in the same space, that's really powerful and energizing and motivating and inspiring. So even if you can't make it to a gym, check out some virtual classes. And that's why we're doing live streaming classes as part of Vegan Life Coach Academy. We're going to have weekly classes. So, because I think that's important, the social aspect. And then, yoga. I'm a proponent of yoga, which has not been the case forever. Stephanie, we're working on you.
I know. It's a struggle. I try. And I know the benefits, so I'm willing to try and keep trying until I find my yoga groove.
And you will.
I'm persistent. It's going to happen.
Yes, because I'm telling you, if you're thinking, oh my God, I hate yoga, I was there for 8 years. 8 years I was there until I found the style of yoga and the instructors that really worked for me and that really changed my life, because now I can't live without it. And Paula, aka Handstand Paula, who's going to be teaching some of our classes, is just phenomenal. And she puts together this great fun playlist. So it's not necessarily the traditional style of yoga. It's not. It's much more relaxed, much more casual and fun. But still, I still can use it as a moving meditation at the same time as I work on the flexibility in my body. I'm able to also work on my mind at the same time. So so just wait for that. By the time this comes out, you will have done at least one Paula yoga class. And next podcast episode, we'll have to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then programs that last a certain number of weeks. So if you're motivated by seeing results, seeing progress in your strength, I'm not talking necessarily on the outside physically, but strength building, that can be really motivating as well. So this calisthenics class, it's actually, a course, and every week I can't go to the next course the next week until I finish this week. And you test at the beginning and you test at the end, so you get to see your strength. So for a lot of people, that's very motivating. And then what about recreational sports? The things that you enjoy, like tennis and volleyball and cycling, maybe swimming. And you can make that part of your weekly routine. There's meetup groups. So it's about getting creative. It's about saying, you know what, it's not if, it's how and what, and when. And I just got to figure that out. So experiment, have some fun with it. One thing that we did as part of the Plant Power coaching program was have people, brainstorm and say, what's around me? What haven't I tried? Let me try something new. The other thing is, you know what? Don't think too hard. Don't think, just do it.
Just do it.
You talk yourself into going to work every day. You talk yourself into doing things and favors for the people that you love, not necessarily because you feel motivated to, but because you've chosen to make that a responsibility, right? Yeah. So it's time to choose exercise as one of those responsibilities, one of those commitments that you make out of love and respect for yourself. Yeah. So there you go. And I'm going to finish with this thought. You are not a body. You have a body. You are a soul. Take care of your body so you have a healthy vessel for your soul to reside while you navigate this game we call life. Anything else you'd like to add?
I love that quote. I love it. And you're so right. We only get one vessel. Might as well house our beautiful souls in a healthy vessel.
Bingo. All right. All right, you guys. That is a wrap for today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you like what you're hearing, if you could take 30 seconds to give us some stars and place a review, we'd be really grateful. It's really helpful to us. And share this with your family, share this with your friends, anybody that would benefit from what we're sharing here. So that'll be it for today. Until next time.